What's going on, guys? Welcome back to WWE Network and Chill, where I, Graham G.S. Matthews, break down all the original content I watch on the WWE Network. And today we're talking the November 16th, 2020 edition of Raw Talk. As we head into Survivor Series weekend, this episode was all about that, talking about Survivor Series, the championship that changed hands on Raw at the very end of the episode, Drew McIntyre beating Randy Orton to become a two-time WWE champion, in what was, I thought, a very good match. And actually, what I thought was the right decision, to put the belt right back on McIntyre. Now, not exactly the place to talk about this, but in terms of, was it the right call? Why did they bother putting the belt on Orton in the first place? It was really just merely to pad his, not resume, but give him another stat. Give him, make him a 14-time WWE champion, regardless of how long that reign was. And I think McIntyre and Roman is the bigger match, and I've said this before, for Survivor Series. I know they could save him for WrestleMania. They've had matches before. To me, it's not that big of a deal. I think this was the right call. And I'm very glad they had the championship change hands on Raw. It made Raw feel more exciting for a change. It was the first time that championship has changed hands on Raw since December of 2015, which is a long time. So anyway, Charlie Caruso and R-Truth to start off this episode. They talk about how excited they are for Survivor Series, probably in the minority there. I don't know a lot of people that are waiting with bated breath for Survivor Series on Sunday, just because the whole brand supremacy thing doesn't even really matter. They do recap the ending to Raw with McIntyre becoming champion. They preview Survivor Series, both at the beginning of the show and at the end of this show, running down the list of matches for the pay-per-view on Sunday, which they don't ordinarily do, so I appreciated that. Even though it's not a card I'm overly looking forward to, but it did get a little better with McIntyre and Reigns becoming official for the pay-per-view on Monday night. So they do acknowledge that Peyton Royce and Lacey Evans that is, are now on the Raw women's team for Survivor Series, taking the spots for, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. I guess Mandy Rose is legit injured, so they had to take her out of the match. And because Dana's her partner, it would only make sense to take her out as well. And she's not that good anyway, so I'm not heartbroken over the change. So Royce and Evans are now in. They talked about Lana going through another table. Same shit, different week. The first guest they have on is Sheamus, who obviously gave McIntyre all the old, I don't know exactly what you would call it, but the family heirlooms, the sword, or the claymore as it's called, obviously. Backstage before his match, which he feels may have helped his chances of becoming champion on Raw last night. He was very excited for McIntyre becoming a two-time champion. R-Truth, jokingly asked, "Do you know the fat bastard?" Obviously from the Austin Powers movies. But, it was funny. But to get back on track here with the serious stuff, Sheamus talked about how he felt like he brought McIntyre back to his roots with what he gave him on Raw. And that was what helped his chances, again, of becoming champion. That was really what helped him win the belt. So I can see a scenario down the road, probably sooner rather than later, that Sheamus comes calling for a WWE title shot, because he feels he takes credit for McIntyre winning the title. He has negative feelings towards Survivor Series. He doesn't want to bring down the mood by talking about it, but they do anyway. And he feels that there's too many egos involved in that match, in the men's Survivor Series match with himself, AJ Styles, Matt Riddle, Braun Strowman, and Keith Lee, that he's the only person on the team, according to him, that doesn't have an ego. And he asks, why is there so much turmoil between the teammates? And if they just listen to him, they'll be okay. And he thinks Jey Uso's on the roll of his life right now. He has respect for King Corbin. And Charlie even says that Jey is probably the biggest threat in that match because he does have the most to prove. So they then welcome on Asuka for a very brief bit. She's not on for very long at all. But she praises Sasha Banks, who she will be facing this Sunday at Survivor Series in the Raw vs. SmackDown champion versus champion match. She says that she's going to beat her, and then she's going to go after Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for attacking her friends, that being Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke. So that's something, I guess, to look forward to, after Survivor Series is over, although I don't really care to see Asuka versus Nia Jax again, whatever. So they then bring on the New Day's Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston to finish out the episode. Xavier brings up how he recently celebrated, which I think the anniversary is either today or tomorrow, I'm pretty sure it's tomorrow, of the 7-year anniversary that he debuted on the main roster alongside R-Truth on that Raw Country episode or whatever it was. I think it's tomorrow. I think it was the 18th of November in 2013 that he debuted. But yeah, he debuted along R-Truth, who he was teaming with for a very small time, very brief period before they broke up, and then Woods kind of floundered for a bit before finding the New Day. But I thought that was funny he brought that up. So anyway, Kingston says that he wants to give the people what they want, that being the New Day versus the Street Profits, which, as much as I love the Hurt Business, that is the right match to do at the pay-per-view, is the New Day versus the Street Profits, so he's not wrong in saying that. But he says the Profits aren't ready for them. Woods cuts a promo on the Profits, and they're very happy to expand the New Day brand, both by being on Raw and SmackDown, and they kind of teased the possibility of Big E being the final member of Team SmackDown, which I'm not so sure that he will be at this point, because I feel like if he was, they would have given him that spot last week on SmackDown, and they never acknowledged who that final and fifth spot will go to. So I'm not sure. I don't know. But they did tease that possibility, and even if he is, it doesn't even really matter, because it's not like, yeah, they are in opposite brands, but it's not like New Day has to face Big E. You know what I mean? But nonetheless, I thought this was a good episode in effectively building towards Survivor Series on Sunday. The Asuka part was short and sweet. Sheamus was really good. The New Day were entertaining. Truth kind of kept the comedy to a minimum. So I thought it was a good episode overall. It's a pay-per-view, again, not a lot of people are overly invested in, just because on paper it's just not that strong of a card, to be honest with you. But I thought they did a decent job of trying to get people excited for the show, trying to garner interest by talking about the various matches, stuff like that. So a decent episode, all things considered, of Raw Talk. You can check out the show right now on the WWE Network. Be sure to like this video, drop a comment, share the video, and subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Hit that bell button as well to be notified every time a new video goes up. And we already had a... what was it? I put up another video earlier. What was it? I don't remember. Oh, the Brothers of Destruction review of the special on Kane and Undertaker from earlier in the weekend. I think it was from Sunday. So that review went up earlier. This is going up now. We have a Ms. and Mrs. review tomorrow. #AskGSM and so much more. So, again, all the support is greatly appreciated. Have a great one, guys. Enjoy Survivor Series this weekend. I'm Graham GSM Matthews, and I'll catch your ass down the road.